What's up, everyone? It's the Interview Queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hey guys, it's Dan Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review, episode 19, Draft Day, reviewing the April 29th, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw, as only we can to do that. I am joined by the face and the ace of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
What up, SP3? What up, chat? A beautiful Tuesday here in New York City. Time to close out them 76ers, make Joel Embiid cry some more. You thought those Philly fans, they were loud in Philly the last game. Woo! Don't be loud today. Loud tonight.
Yo, Joel Embiid gonna get section 4 in MSG for straight up Philly fans. He's gonna have like a whole bus of them, and they're gonna be in Madison Square Garden, and still are not gonna be louder than the Knicks fan. Still not gonna be louder than the Knicks fans, as the Knicks probably close out the 76ers tonight. And we'll see what they do against the Indiana Pacers, it seems like. But that is sports talk. You can get that on our other channel. We are here to talk about Monday Night Raw with the WWE Draft. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us live. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're watching us live, sound off in the live chat. If you're watching us on demand, you can sound off in the comments down below and share your thoughts on last night's Monday Night Raw. But if you're with us live, you'll sound off, and we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to contribute to the conversation here on Rated Raw Review, and you want to support the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, the best way to do that is with a super chat donation. That is so important to what we do here. It goes back to all the contributors that you see on screen with us, or like Jimmy Macaram said, we broke, so we appreciate the support as always. We also got Hassan in the chat who says, let's roll up for WWE Draft results. We also got Safet who says, we got an Easter egg during Jey Uso interview. Oh boy, there was some eggs, but there was something being connected to the eggs, I think, in the room somewhere. But anyway, we got Bell in the chat and says, hello, can we talk about that Raw mid-card? Because fire, Raw mid-card, just Raw male division is just stacked now after the draft. We got Dolores who says, hey everyone, hello to you, Dolores. We got Frantic World who says, what a day for us hip-hop fans. I don't know, you're a hip-hop fan?
Oh, because Kendrick dropped his diss. I haven't heard it yet on Drake.
I have not gotten into any of the beef. I haven't heard any of it. I haven't been interested in like current hip hop music in a while. So maybe. Hey, you've caught my attention, Frantic World, with your comment. Maybe I'll listen and try to deep dive into everything that's going on.
Get Drake and Kendrick in the ring, and then SP3 could get interested.
Yeah, there you go.
Right in WrestleMania.
There you go. Hey, we got Meek Mills this year. Why not Drake versus Kendrick next year? Eric Isis says, hey, THH fam, I can't wait for the dream matchup between Damage Control versus Team Scotland, Becky, Lyra, Hyla, and Alba on either Raw or Clash at the Castle in the future. Or Survivor Series. That sounds like a Survivor Series matchup.
Interesting. They do have a lot of European talent on Raw here. Versus Asian. Uh-oh. We got rid of the Latins versus the Latins, but we ain't stopping the gang wars.
We still got the race wars going on Monday Night Raw. Don't you worry, good sir. We got Chuck Berries. He says, damn, way to talk bad about my Sixers and be a true heel, but that's okay. Still got love for y'all. See, there you go. Still
Knicks
got love for it.
5. Knicks in 5. Knicks in 5.
See, this is why no one hopes for good Knicks things. It's not that the players are actually really likable on this team. I have to say, but it's the Knicks fans. Y'all are never going to be likable.
Well, I'm not dirty like Embiid though.
You're as dirty as Embiid.
Oh, come on.
Frantic World says Kendrick Lamar new diss song is called Euphoria. SP3. There you go. Oh wow, he named it after the.
Yeah, you just got it.
Yeah, Drake produces. I got it.
Now we need 3 a.m. in Compton. Is what we need.
There you go. There you go. But yes, we got to talk about last night's Monday Night Raw because it was night 2 of the WWE Draft 2024. If you want our thoughts on night 1 of the WWE Draft, you can check out True Heel Heat 274, where Romeo made a guest appearance to share his thoughts on night 1. But let's get into what went down last night. We're night 2, and we were in Kansas City, Missouri, T-Mobile Center. But just in case you weren't sure we were in Kansas City, we kicked off the show with 2-time NFL MVP, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes.
The GOAT.
The
greatest of all time.
Meeting up with the United States champion Logan Paul. 2 champions to kick off the show.
Star power.
Logan shows up with I Show Speed, who I think was in his trunk. I'm pretty sure. They were welcomed by Damian Priest and the Judgment Day. Priest congratulated Paul on his success, and Paul returned the favor. Paul said Priest would destroy the ugly Uso at Backlash. Judgment Day, Paul, Ice Show Speeds, and Mahomes entered the arena together, and this was a huge get for Monday Night Raw to get Patrick Mahomes and as much involvement, because I thought after this little segment to open the show, I thought that would be it. We would see him in the crowd and that would be it. But they got a lot of involvement from the biggest star in the NFL.
Star power, big star power. And I think he's also a Prime sponsored athlete,
Yeah,
so that made it easier.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, man, Logan Paul, it is a benefit to working with Logan Paul here. You got Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, the Patrick Mahomes connect, man. Watch, we're gonna get a pay-per-view in Kansas City, and Patrick Mahomes gonna be like a special guest referee or something, or walk down the aisle with Logan.
Logan Paul, man, this relationship has been great with him, and they both sides seem to love it, and they're getting the most out of it. A lot of attention.
Absolutely. So we see Michael Cole and Pat McAfee ran down the draft rules while standing ringside. They go over how all the champions are locked in, and we go over to the Performance Center. We see all the NXT talent waiting to hear their fate in tonight's WWE Draft Night 2. And we have our opening segment, which was the new WWE World Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. She kicked off, and the man said that Kansas City might be where the man was born. This arena was where her face got busted open, and she let the world know this was her show. Now at the top of those stands, she stood there as
I'm sorry, SP3. Revisionist history by Becky Lynch. The man started because she was a shitty friend to Charlotte Flair, and she turned on her. Charlotte made the man. Revisionist history. This bloody nose. It's very WWE-ish.
No, it's
but
not.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. the her star skyrocketed when her face got busted. She's right in saying that.
Yeah, so not where the man was born.
She said might be where the man was born.
Okay, and I'm here to tell you it wasn't. There's no might be.
Jesus Christ. The arena was where she got her face busted. She let everybody know. She stood there as champion 6 years later, and it was still her show. The crowd chanted for Becky. Becky said that it took nearly 2 years to regain the championship, which led to "You deserve it" chants. She said she didn't want to just hold the title. She wanted to defend it, and she wanted to fight the best, which led to Liv Morgan coming out to interrupt. Morgan said that Lynch should look no further for her next challenger. We get the mommy chants from the crowd. Morgan felt like Lynch owed her one, because if it wasn't for Liv, Becky would not be champion, because Liv was able to do what Becky couldn't, and that was take out Rhea Ripley, which got some boos from the crowd. Morgan said that this was still her revenge tour, and she would not stop until she got everything that she wanted. Lynch admitted that she wouldn't be champion without Morgan, but Morgan would be champion right now if not what Becky did to her in last week's Battle Royal. Also facts. Nia Jax then interrupts. Cole explains very quickly that the new rosters weren't in effect till next week. But Nia got a ton of heat here, way more than Liv was getting. Jax said that they were lucky she got drafted to SmackDown. She said that tonight was her last night on Monday Night Raw, which popped the crowd. We even get Liv kind of juicing up the crowd, saying, "Yay!" She planned on taking one of them with her, though, but Liv drop kicked her before she was able to get into the ring, and she said that if that was a challenge, she accepted. So it's Liv and Nia later on in the night here. What did you think about this opening segment here? Despite some boos from Liv Morgan, this still had her as a babyface here, this segment.
And just booking that match between her and Nia also establishes her more as a babyface, but I'm all aboard the Liv Morgan train. You know, my heart is there's an empty void with no Charlotte Flair, with Rhea, mommy, out injured. I'm adopting Liv Morgan. I'm adopting Liv Morgan fanhood. I'm really enjoying everything she's saying. She's right. She's 100% right. Becky has her to thank. Becky won a cheap battle royal. Like, Liv Morgan has deserved a genuine shot. I like it.
You're
I'm liking Liv. Can you believe I'm liking Liv from where I used to be?
Your fake fandom of Liv Morgan since February has been
I'm
amazing to
adopting
watch.
her.
It's been amazing to watch. This started way before. Don't make the excuse that mommy's gone now. This started in February. This dates back to February after Elimination Chamber. Yeah, this is when this all started.
I like the whole revenge tour concept. There's a little there's a lot of actual truth into what she's speaking. It's very Drew McIntyre-ish. She hasn't
and
gone
that's
down the road of full jerk yet, like Drew did, but it's coming.
That's why I said I wanted to point out that she was very much positioned as a babyface here because it feels like they're doing more of a slow burn for her, which I appreciate.
Sure, yeah.
We get
as long as they tell it well.
We get Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Bronson Reed showing up at the building. We get the announcement that Sami Zayn will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed was wearing a Calgary Hitman t-shirt, which was cool. And then we get Stephanie McMahon to kick off our first round of the WWE Draft. We saw Stephanie backstage with who had to be her assistant because she was holding her coffee and following her around because Stephanie made her. But Stephanie comes out to make the announcement. With the kingdom down, would you love me?
Yeah,
I'm really good at imitating all these songs. Stephanie enters the first round picks, which go as follows: Imperium's Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, number 1 overall picks for Monday Night Raw here on night 2. For SmackDown, they retain their number 1 pick is Jade Cargill. Very, very big stamp of approval. Shout outs to Professor Chris. Natalya would never get picked this high in a draft. Just wanted to point that out. Number 3 in the first round, Raw selected Damage Control's Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai, while SmackDown picked up Kevin Owens. So the big switch here is Damage Control going from SmackDown to Raw, a much needed switch up here. I like this first round. I don't like it too much for SmackDown because it was like, and Pat McAfee pointed out, he was like, yeah, Raw won this round because we got 6 people and they only got 2. I was like, points were made.
Damage Control is great for Raw. It adds a lot to just the singles division alone. Becky Lynch is going to be thrilled. She has 3-4 opponents, so that's great. I wanted KO on Raw, selfishly, because we cover Raw, we review Raw. I'd love him to be a part of the 3 hours, but stays on SmackDown. What can you do? And the whole
he fits the mode of what they did, really. And we'll talk. Remind me to talk about it more when we get to the end of the draft, as far as how the rosters are structured. KO fits what they are looking for over on Monday night on Friday Night SmackDown.
You might have heard me on True Heel Heat, but I'll say it here if you didn't see it. This whole draft concept, the way the execution is garbage. It's trash. It's boring. It's just, here's what you should do. If you're gonna just come up with the list on your own of who's gonna change sides, who's gonna get drafted from NXT, whatever that list is, you have it. Then you announce this is the eligible pool of a randomized pool of people that have been selected to be drafted, and then you just go back and forth. They're picking, and people are actually changing sides. People are actually getting promoted. That's it. I don't need all this stuff. Jade Cargill stays on SmackDown. I don't need all that. I know they want this she's the number 1 pick. Oh yeah, whatever. Crock of shit. Because if we were doing real picks, Drew McIntyre would be a 1 pick. All right, what are we doing? It's so boring. The execution, just going up there and announcing it. There's no drama whatsoever. I cringe now looking forward to the next draft. It's I hate these shows. This is better than the SmackDown one, but
it's really devoid of creativity. That's the issue with the draft. That's the big thing that I had optimism for. If I was it's a new era, it's Triple H's real first draft on his own, no Vince participation at all. And I agree that it was no creativity. That it was kind of lame as many, especially on night one. Especially, I think night one, it was more glaring of how it was just multiple rounds of the same people on the same shows being drafted, and it's just like no. And I don't think that making a certain like picking who you want to switch and then making that the pool, make it like that. No, just make it an open pool, but only do the switches. Say there's only a limited amount of picks for each show on either, if you want to do it 2 nights, which I think is dumb because this night was so much better than the other night to me. I would say you only can do 1 night of the draft, it seems, because that was just so dull on Friday that I don't think that the current format of the draft is not suitable for 2 nights.
I'm so bored by it. The only, the really big positive is the NXT stuff. That's where it actually feels like an actual draft. And it's very entertaining to see, the legit reactions, because these people most likely don't know that where they're going, or if they're staying on NXT or anything like that. That's the best part. And if you could find a way to just make it about that, that'd be great. Just the NXT, that'd be great.
Another thing is they can't do it every year. They need a break. They need to not do it next year and then wait till the year after and bring it back. Because that's what they did after the first draft. After the first draft, they didn't do another draft. After the first draft in 2002, they didn't do another draft in 2003. They waited till 2004. And 2004 is when they started doing like Raw versus SmackDown matches. So it was actually fresh because you had seen just these people on these shows fighting with each other. So then when they did Raw versus SmackDown matches, it was like, oh, wow, we had never seen this before.
How about this where it's just trades between the GMs and the draft is just the NXT talent? And maybe you could even do like a Raw versus SmackDown match for the draft pick for the NXT.
Well, you got to do it like you have three trades you can make. You have basically each GM can pick three acts on each show. They do, if they want to do it 2 nights, they get 3 picks. It's 3 rounds, 3 picks each for each brand, and they can pick from the other brand, but the champions are protected. I like that. If they're gonna do it like that, then champions protected, but you can pick anyone else, and it's 3 picks for each GM.
Although theoretically you can trade champions, but if you don't want to, that's fine. But I'd rather trades than the whole thing draft. I'd rather the trades and do the draft for the NXT, because that's like it's an actual draft. It's like you're graduating from wrestling college.
Yeah. And yeah, Josh, that's what I was thinking, Josh. Not every 3 to 4 years, because I think that's too far apart. But
yes,
have 1 year off and then bring it back in 2024. But they're gonna make a big deal of doing the draft on Netflix next year, so that's out the question. Sure. But I wish in an ideal world, I would do 1 year off, and then it means more when you do the NXT call-ups.
Yeah, when does NXT start on CW?
October.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. Big Man Dog says, I think that's a good idea. You only draft NXT wrestlers, and Raw and SmackDown are mostly trades. Yeah. Just makes sense.
There you go, Triple H. Fixed it.
Hey, we're trying to help you, Triple H. Please listen. We know you're watching. For opening matchup, though, was the first overall pick from Monday Night Raw on night 2. Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser versus
and not Giovanni Vinci.
not Giovanni Vinci, who is now on SmackDown in the supplemental draft. But
you're gonna get those picks at the end.
Yeah. You got it. You can get it up. I don't have it. Here. But Gunther went 1-on-1 with the former King of the Ring, the last King of the Ring, Xavier Woods. This one actually had a glitch during the matchup when Gunther was in control, where we got a QR code from the Wyatt family. We got Woods taking on brutal chops from Gunther, just chopping him down to the point that Pat McAfee says New Day chopped, and he worked over the leg of of Woods throughout the matchup after his leg got caught up in the ropes and Gunther chopped at the leg. He mocked him. He went for a splash, but Woods got his knees up, hurting his leg some more. Woods went to fire back, but Gunther chopped him down and applied a half crab. It seemed like there was no escape for Woods, so Kingston asked for a white towel from the timekeeper. Kingston teased throwing it in until Woods begged him not to. The crowd cheered when Kingston threw the towel into the crowd. Woods almost fought out of it. He reaches the ropes, but Gunther drags him back, applies a STF with a cravat for the tap out victory. This was a one-sided matchup, but a very good one with Gunther showing his dominance. My only nitpick on this one is if you're going to do this matchup, why did you do it the week before you start the King of the Ring tournament and not in the first round?
100%. Does my gripe exactly as well. And like, how long do the New Day and Imperium have to feud? I thought this was long over, but it's still going on. And if it is going to go on, it should go on the way you say, in the damn tournament at least. Whereas I don't get it. I don't understand it. Gunther looks like a beast. I don't know why Xavier is, to use a video game term, which he should be familiar with, such a try-hard in a basic Raw match when you have the King of the Ring tournament coming up, which I think you're going to be in, being a former king. Live to fight another day.
You should have called this a qualifying matchup for all that. Like,
which they absolutely 100% should. I hope that's the meaning of the King of the Ring tournament starts. Qualifying matches, like have matches. You have 3-hour program every Monday. There's the way to you when you can find a way for the matches, the regular matches to have more meaning, you do it. And qualifying matches is the way to do it. Sure, they might be 100% predictable, probably in most cases, but still, it adds more.
100% agree with you there. And the funniest part of all of this is we just did a draft, and then that the King of the Ring tournament final is going to be Raw versus SmackDown. it's like
one bracket will be Raw, the other.
But they do this all the time. Why do they do this? This happened the last time they did the King of the Ring tournament, because they used to do the draft in October, and then they did the King of the Ring tournament final at Crown Jewel. Now they made it a whole pay-per-view in May and still did the draft right before it.
When is the actual King of the Ring date? Do you know?
I think it's Memorial Day weekend. It's the Saturday before Double or Nothing.
Saturday the 25th. Yeah. So, we've got about 4 weeks of the King of the Ring? 3 weeks?
Yeah. So we have how many episodes of Raw is that? So we got the 6th, the 13th, the 20th. So 3 episodes of Raw. It's gonna be a
definitely don't sound like this. Well, maybe it could be qualifying matches all the first week.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like we're getting the first round next week.
Yeah.
You
know what you should do? You should do. And did they do this last time? Because I don't even remember. I don't think they did. The semifinals and the finals on the same night.
No, they did not.
You should do it. I like it that way.
I like when they used to do that, when they did the semifinals and the finals in the same night. And Triple H but Triple H ain't gonna do that. He only be doing these freaking 5 and 6 match cards. I'm very surprised that I think Backlash has 6 matches, but
Backlash seems like it has a lot of matches.
I just want to mention though, I think this is as much as WWE mentioned Backlash last night, man. Yo, this card, even though they have as many matches as they do, seems like a very house show card again. And it seems like that's that theme now.
It does. Which means it's going to be outstanding.
Get out of here. Stop it. Elimination Chamber.
You go low expectations. Low expectations.
But Elimination Chamber had that, and Elimination Chamber was forgettable.
Well, like a 2-match show or 3.
It was forgettable. Even the 2 or 3 matches that it was about. Am I gonna remember that at the end of the year? No. It's a forgettable show. I am better at kind of overall kind of having a stance on the show a couple of months. Like a month out from a show, I could be like, or even like a couple of weeks after a show, I can be like, yeah, that I'm gonna remember that show by the end of the year. Like WrestleMania, I'm gonna remember that show by the end of the year. AEW Revolution, I'm gonna remember that show at the end of the year. Wrestle Kingdom, I'm gonna remember that show at the end of the year. Hell, Windy City Riot, Battle in the Valley, I'm gonna remember those shows at the end of the year. Elimination Chamber, probably not.
They didn't seem like they cared all that much about Backlash last night.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it was like they didn't even mention the shit. They were more concerned with the draft than they were with this when the show on Saturday. It was like right at the end, they was like, "Oh yeah, remember guys, we got Backlash this Saturday."
Which, by the way,
and then their top program, despite all my good stuff, that I think that Jey Uso is one of the most popular guys and just so charismatic, a merchandise draw. And Damian Priest, he has all the potential in the world to be a top guy in this company. This build to this matchup feels very mid-card title.
Yes. And I think I know why. But we'll get into that on our Backlash preview coming your way Wednesday afternoon at what time-ish?
3:05, because we got our special guest joining us for the first time in a long time. Rick Ucchino is going to be joining us, so you can join us for that tomorrow. That's tomorrow, Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
Yes. And also join us Saturday afternoon for the actual watch along. Don't watch alone. Watch with us right here.
And then
we're plugging Backlash more than WWE did.
And then Saturday evening, we got our Backlash review. We getting everything done on Saturday. We got the watch party. We got the Backlash review on Saturday. And then True Hill Heat is moving over to Sunday this week because Backlash is starting. Well, the pre-show starts at 12, but nobody watches that. But we want to give WWE its space to get over, and our watch party its space to get over. I might even show up. Who knows?
Let's go.
See, we definitely plugged Backlash way more. We got a super chat donation because of it from Chuck Berries, the good brother. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. You've been supporting us so much lately. We appreciate it. He says, honestly, I'm kind of waiting for them to split the New Day up because I think it's about that time.
Never break them up.
Yeah, I can't say that. I can't say that because it's like the first ever team that I never want to see break up in the traditional sense.
The only reason you would break them up is if you had a serious heel push in line for Xavier Woods. They're not going to have that at all.
That is true. We got Big Man Dogs who says AJ versus Cody is cold. I mean, I think you're giving it credit.
Freezing.
You're giving
cold.
it credit. Yeah,
they literally had 2 weeks.
They have not. It feels like they haven't even tried. They have very much kind of gave us the Challenger of the Month vibes with the AJ styles.
I'll have more to say on the preview.
Yeah. We also got Frantic Girl says, man, this new era of WWE is not looking so new and fresh. You can't judge them on a Backlash. I won't judge them on Backlash. It's until after Backlash, like King of the Ring time. That's when we'll get a sense of everything. And then after King of the Ring, then I think that we're going to get maybe something, because I'm just going by the timeline of last year. Last year, that was kind of a lull. The build up to Backlash was kind of a lull. Backlash was a great show because it was in Puerto Rico. Then it was kind of a lull on the build up to Night of Champions. Then Night of Champions was a great show. And then after Night of Champions, that's when the Bloodline Civil War kicked off and they were cooking.
I'd say it's still looking new and fresh, just from, you got a lot of new blood champions here. Well, not new blood, but like new looks at champions. So I still think it's new and fresh.
That's true. That is true. All right, we got an interesting segment to discuss here, Romeo, as we heard from Jey Uso backstage, and Yeet. He was talking about everything that's been going down, and he was interviewed, wondering if he was feeling the pressure of being the number 1 overall pick. And he says that no, and he says that Priest would receive a yeet down at Backlash. She asked about Logan Paul's earlier comment. Jey was asked he says that he was glad when they signed a Paul brother, but he wished that they signed the one with a winning record, and then put his glasses on and walked away. And all I could think of was, Jey, you don't have exactly a winning record.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
You know
Am I lying though?
I don't know. Look it up. We'd have to.
No, come on. Have you've been watching the same show as me? This man does not have a winning record.
I don't know. But you know what I was thinking? Walking away from this segment, the Usos versus the Paul brothers. It's coming soon.
You've been wanting that for like what? How many years now?
I don't know that I necessarily want it, but I just see it happening. You know.
But
I would like Jake Paul to be involved in wrestling because I think he'd be fantastic. I think Logan Paul's the athletic guy, and everybody knows Logan Paul can talk. Let me tell you, Jake Paul can talk even better.
Yes, definitely. I think that Jake Paul has more of the mic skills and character to be a professional wrestling fan, and I think that he would fully accept he is the heel, because you see that in his boxing career and how he goes about that. He always positions himself as the villain, as the antagonist there. And
they could
as we saw with Logan Paul's career, at first Logan wanted to be a babyface because Logan wants to be liked.
They could be a decent tag team. You don't have to ask Jake Paul to do much. Ask him to be a tank, be the strong guy. And Logan Paul will do all the running around and diving around. It'll be like Jeff Hardy,
He'll be the Matt Hardy to
Matt Hardy, be the Matt to his Jeff. Just go in there and act like you're doing something, A little headlock, punch, a little kick.
You know what's funny? I could totally see Logan doing the.
Maybe we get that dream match. Here
we go. We're booking the whole entire Paul brother run. We got Logan. They're
gonna take on all the brothers. Paul
brothers teams versus the Hardy brothers. We got Paul brothers versus the Usos.
I saw the Dudleys putting on those glasses, and they look like they want one more match.
Hey, we gonna take on half brothers. We're gonna tell Kane to get off his ass, and he gonna come through with the Undertaker, and then they gonna go over to All Elite Wrestling. They got the Lucha brothers, they got the Jackson brothers, they got the Martin brothers.
They're not going anywhere. Are you kidding?
Private Party is brothers, not brothers, but they are brothers. Hey, Street Profits are brothers.
Yep.
Hey, they
brothers. Creed brothers.
Too. New Day's brothers. Creed brothers.
Yeah.
My God. You're confusing me because I'm trying to make both. But anyway, yes, the Paul's got a lot of options. Someone should have drafted Jake Paul. We should have came up with this idea earlier.
Indeed.
You could have drafted them together. That would have, or no, you can't draft Logan Paul because he's U.S. champion. Mm-hmm. That's another thing, though. I really feel like the protecting of champions nuked the draft in a big way.
Yeah, you did mention that, but I can understand why they don't want to change any champions.
But why did you go through changing the titles' names? I thought that would make it easier for you to. But anyway, it's just like
what you could have done is just like when Cody gave that whole goodbye Raw speech. You didn't have to do it then. You just saved it for the draft.
Yeah, exactly. Kathy Kelly,
patience.
During the interview with Kathy Kelly and Jey Uso, the whole world was not talking about anything that Jey Uso had to say. The whole world was talking about a mysterious background Easter egg, as we saw none other than Liv Morgan leaving her room in the background, walking backstage. Then maybe less than 60 seconds later, as Jey is still talking, we see Dominic Mysterio leaving the same room. Dom was clapping the cheeks. It didn't even take 2 weeks.
Come
2
on,
weeks. He
man.
couldn't even wait 2 weeks.
Come on, clapping cheeks. By the way, I never catch these live at all. I find these on Twitter from other more eagle-eyed viewers than I am. So, what they could have been doing anything in there. That could have been catering. Who knows?
You believe
It's very
that?
bold of you to assume clapping
believe-
cheeks.
You believe that?
I'm just saying it could have been anything. I'm not going to say it was something or it was not something. It could have been anything, is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that mustache on Dom gets even more and more disgusting by the week.
It's gross.
Even Rey Mysterio called him out for you dirty Sanchez. And then plenty of people all over were Googling, what's a dirty Sanchez? And they discover real quick.
Yeah, see, like most people are agreeing with what I said earlier, saying Big Man Does says only thing that is memorable about Elimination Chamber is that it took place in Australia. Exactly. And that's the only thing that's going to be memorable about Backlash is it took place in France.
Great crowd.
Great crowd. Great crowd. Took place in
Good
France.
luck being better than Puerto Rico.
Tough thing to follow. Bell says the only thing I'll remember from Elimination Chamber is just the sentimental value of Rhea Ripley main eventing because you could tell that meant a lot to her. Yeah. We got Josh who says I loved Tiffany Stratton's performance from Elimination Chamber and Rhea was great. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton had a star-making performance in the Elimination Chamber, and Rhea Ripley was great in her matchup with Nia Jax. We got Big Man
One of Nia Jax's best performances.
Yeah. We got Josh who says, yeah, Backlash was really good, but it could have been just how hot the crowd was. No, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest is objectively a very great plunder match. Like plunder brawl, just nonsense, sports entertainment pops. Oh my God, it's so great. And Bianca Belair and Io Sky was probably the best in-ring match of that night. And that is where Io's performance is why Io became WWE Women's Champion and Money in the Bank winner a month later.
Honorary Puerto Rican, Sky. And speaking of Puerto Ricans, we need Bad Bunny to challenge Damian Priest sometime in this title run. Come on, Bad Bunny. Come on, man.
That'd be great. That would actually be cool. We got Frantic Girl. He says Liv Morgan is cute. I couldn't wait for 5 minutes. SP3. There you go.
Wow. TMI.
That's too much. Too much, sir. Too much. We got Patrick Mahomes was in the front row as Samantha Irvin introduces him, announcing him to a big ovation from the Kansas City fans. We also got players Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey were there too. They aired a clip of Smith and Humphrey joining a young fan in the ring before the show started. It was the fan Smith helped to safety during the shooting at the Super Bowl parade. This was a nice little moment there. Paul then comes out, Logan Paul, along with I Show Speed. WWE, if it wasn't for you, I would never know this person is. They are here to announce the round 2 picks in the WWE Draft, and we got them as follows. Number 1 pick in the second round, Raw trolls Drew McIntyre and picks CM Punk. SmackDown second pick of the second round is Bobby Lashley, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and B-Fab. Finally, they acknowledge them and call them the Pride. It only took nearly a year.
Yeah, we guess.
Pick 3 of the third round is the returning Braun Strowman. And number 4 pick of the second round is Tiffany Stratton. So the big ones here is, of course, Punk being picked ahead of Drew McIntyre, which would become an ongoing story throughout the night that would pay off in a little bit later. We also got, Braun Strowman. This would basically be foreshadowing his return, which would be coming very shortly thereafter. And the SmackDown picks were the SmackDown picks. This was 2 rounds in a row where I was like, SmackDown, just try. Y'all can at least try.
Terrible. I know it's storyline, but how do you logically defend not picking Drew McIntyre still? Oh my God. And also, here, this is a nitpick, but like, don't have Braun Strowman be a surprise later. Like, have his segment first and then draft him.
I agree.
Why are you drafting him first? What? It's just dumb. Little shit. Just change around. You make this show better.
So Logan Paul,
Fucking child can do this.
Logan Paul transitions from the draft picks to coming down to the ring, and he says that he spoke the truth when he said that Damian Priest would beat Jey Uso. Jey leaving the bloodline was a mistake because he couldn't win a title on his own, unlike him. Jey Uso would quickly then interrupt, and we get Pat McAfee going crazy on the announce desk with Logan Paul telling him to please stop, Pat. Jey Uso comes out, and Jey asks the crowd if they thought he could beat Priest, and they say yeet. If they thought he could become the world heavyweight champion, they say yeet. If they thought he should beat up Logan Paul, and they said yeet. Paul says, I've been doing yeet way before you. Yo, yeet.
Terrible yeet.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
He made something terrible even more terrible.
Paul trash talks Jey. He says that little brother Jey can't win it on his own. I was like, aren't you a little brother too? I was like, what is going on? Jey,
great.
Jey didn't wait to get attack though, because as Logan Paul was talking, we had the Judgment Day coming down to the ring. As they surrounded Jey attacked them first. He went after the Judgment Day, but they got the better of him. 2-on-1 beatdown. Meanwhile, at ringside, Logan Paul went to converse with Patrick Mahomes, and apparently they had a plan. As Patrick Mahomes brought along all 3 of his Super Bowl rings. Paul, who was without a brass knuckles today, you put on all 3 rings as a form of a brass knuckle. He gets back into the ring. He goes to punch Jey. Jey moves out the way. And of course, he hits the huge noggin of JD McDonough. Paul and Balor acted shocked by this as Jey was amused. Jey went after Balor, but Paul jumped him from behind. It was 2-on-1 with Logan and Finn beating down on Jey when Braun hit the speakers, and Braun Strowman made his return to WWE for the first time in well over a year. We get Braun entering the ring. We get Paul bailing from it. Strowman lays out Balor with a chokeslam. He then runs after Logan Paul, who runs through the crowd to escape. I'll talk about Braun Strowman in a minute here. He runs after Logan Paul. Logan Paul escapes, but then Braun stops at Patrick Mahomes. He stares down with Mahomes. They trade some words as his offensive linemen have his back. They're not going to let Braun get his hands on him. We get Jey Uso getting in between, pulling Braun away as the Chiefs stand tall. They get cheered against Braun Strowman in his return. All I have to say is I enjoyed this segment because I realized what it was. It was the sports entertainment bid. It was Raw's bid to get on sports entertainment for the draft, having Patrick Mahomes here, having Logan Paul here, doing the Super Bowl ring thing. Great stuff. Great punch by Logan Paul on JD McDonough, and the follow-up was also really good. But what the fuck is on Braun's head? Yo, dude, this mullet with the baldy, you're not Hulk Hogan, dog. You're not Hulk Hogan. Your hairline is like, what? Where is it? It's at the top of your head. What are we doing? Just shave it bald. You were bald before. It was a great look. What the fuck is this?
It was a great look.
Dude, I was like, I want to be happy that Braun's back. I'm happy, he was able to get through, neck surgery, and a guy that big, it takes a lot for him to get back into the ring. And I'm excited for him to get back. But, dude, no one said anything?
You know what makes it funnier? It's like beard is like perfectly shaped up.
Son, dog. Every time they did, it was like the Cena shit where you were Cena's hair is flapping up, but like that
Proud of it.
baldy, there ain't no flapping up. There ain't no comb over for that baldy that Strowman guy.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. You know what was weird about this segment for me? It's Patrick Mahomes. I know he's with Logan Paul, but he's practically being a heel in front of his home city, like his turf. Like he's being the heel to Jey Uso. And like when they showed that camera shot, that was a nice camera shot. Braun like crossing into the frame of Mahomes. I wanted to see Mahomes get his ass kicked because he's a little douche for handing off the rings to Logan Paul. He's not innocent in this. I don't care if he's the hometown hero. F him. Me watching at home, I'm a Jets fan. I don't care about the Chiefs. Beat his ass up. And then his offensive line got out. I was like, I don't care, Braun. Just grow all over them. Fucking mow him down. I was like, at least I show speed. Maybe he's gonna take a choke slam. But I wanted to see some more action. And Jey Uso saved Braun from a lawsuit. Good job, Jey. But the crowd did pop for Braun's return.
This is a serious question.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a casual, you should know the name Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
This guy's you saw the 3 rings. That means something.
To be fair, for anyone who is like really, really casual, he's teammates with Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
If that makes him more popular for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's one of the best athletes in the world, one of the best athletes of our time that we've ever seen. So that's why it's such a big deal for him to be on Raw. But he looked like a heel here. What the hell? I want to see him get his ass kicked.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I enjoyed a bunch of this, but damn, like what the fuck?
Let me ask you a Braun question. So he's appearing early. He's drafted Raw. Does that take him away from anything that is like the Wyatt 6 that you were rumored about? Or is that still a possibility?
I think it might still be a possibility because I agree with Big Man Dogs that it looked like he's in the process of growing his hair out. And that he got called back early.
Too early, just like Sheamus.
Yeah, like Sheamus. And maybe it's because of Sheamus. I'm assuming this, but that's what it felt like.
And Braun, you know, I'm not body shaming, but we've seen him in much better shape before, so that lends credence to the idea. Well, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah. Hey, he looked big and jacked. I'll give him that. Yeah, and he did look like an 80s wrestler with that haircut. He did. He looked like he was like doing a movie dated back in the 80s. It's very weird. R-Truth is backstage and he is making some sort of deal with Chad Gable. Miz shows up and wanted to know what was going on as Adam Pearce told them that they have to defend the World Tag Team titles against Alpha Academy. This led to some dumb comedy as Truth was fooled by Chad Gable as he said that he could get 1 title shot now and he'll get 2 later. And he says that they had to make a deal because tonight's the draft and they might get drafted to the NFL. We get Cole snickering on the mic in the background. Truth didn't realize that it was the WWE draft and not the NFL draft. After Miz and Truth leave, Gable is very pleased with his actions, getting his team a title shot, but he suddenly turns around right into a big boot. Not a big boot, but a haluva kick from the Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn. Sami heard what Chad had to say last week, and I guess he wasn't pleased with that, so he got his revenge from 2 weeks ago. What did you think about this?
Well, it doesn't end there. These two are going at it, back and forth, Sami and Gable. R-Truth was, I don't know what kind of deal he was trying to negotiate. What the hell?
He's a man. He's a man on his own. I don't know. We get Kathy Kelly backstage with Booker T for his thoughts on the draft so far. Booker liked the picks of Cargill and CM Punk, but then Drew McIntyre showed up behind him. McIntyre asked Booker if he thought it made sense for the guy who had 1 match this year before getting injured should get drafted over the man who won the world title. Booker wondered where that title was. Now, and McIntyre thought that he was in backwards world. He knew Booker back in the day, and he knows how Booker really felt about Punk. McIntyre told Booker that he changed.
That was good stuff.
That was good.
McIntyre calling out Booker T. You changed.
Should have called and say you're a suck up. You're a kiss ass. Should have said that too.
It was right in everything he said.
I would have popped even more if he said you're just a kiss ass.
Yeah, I guess Drew and Book did work together, huh? The same roster, same time.
Yeah,
Drew was a young pup.
Cole noted that if Reed won the title, he would be protected in the draft, and Zayn would move into Reed's slot before our Intercontinental Championship bout between Bronson and Reed, challenging Sami Zayn here. Sami hit a dive and went for a early crossbody, but Reed caught him and hit a big power slam, followed by a senton. Zayn fought back after the commercial break, but Reed hit a Uranagi for a 2 count, then a sit-out powerbomb for another 2. He hit a big shoulder block off the apron, but he slipped getting back into the ring. Sami catches him with the haluva kick, but before he can get the 3 count, Chad Gable comes in and delivers a deadlift German suplex for the DQ. Gable then applies the ankle lock on Sami. After he lets go, he gets the Intercontinental Championship and he poses over Zayn. Bronson Reed finally gets his composure. He gets up and lays out Chad Gable with a Death Valley driver, and he poses with the title. This seemingly sets up an Intercontinental Championship matchup, which should be great, but I can't mention how closely resembling the booking is to the WWE Women's Championship matchup at Backlash.
I figured they were doing this to set up a triple threat at Backlash. Nope.
Yep.
We're not gonna have Sami Zayn in front of an international crowd. That's a vibe. We're not gonna get that. Well, we're gonna save it for a Raw. Come on, what are we doing? Add it to the card.
Seems like they're saving it for an episode of Raw. Seems like most of the Intercontinental Championship matches are relegated to Raw.
Dumb.
Yes,
Sorry.
I agree. Big Man Dog says, can't wait for Truth to turn heel and reveal that he is a mastermind. It's going to be the day.
No.
It's going to be the day we're all waiting for.
No.
Oh, yeah, Josh Matlock, great stuff. He said Booker mentioned drafting Priest too, so he wasn't that great. Yeah, Booker was not great. Booker has bad memory. And
Speaking of Truth, I like that he uploaded a picture on social media with I Show Speed. He said, met up backstage with the great KSI. That was great. Oh, great. Classic R-Truth.
Classic R-Truth. Next out is Ron Simmons and JBL APA. Bam, 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 bam,
One
bam, 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 bam.
One of the most generic theme songs of all time. Yet, when it hits, you're like, oh, someone's going to get their ass kicked.
It slaps, though. It slaps. But yes, APA are here, and they're here for round 3 of the WWE Draft, and the round 3 picks were as followed. First pick was the LWO, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, Wild Kim Wild, Zelina Vega, and Carlito? Wait, Raw, did y'all Adam Pearce, did you miss SmackDown? I don't think he's part of LWO. Okay. All right. He's a part. So yeah, LWO go from SmackDown to Raw, and thankfully they are finally separated from their forever rivals, Legado del Fantasma, as they are selected to SmackDown. Santos Escobar, Elektra Lopez, Angel Humberto. Raw selects Drew McIntyre next, as SmackDown selects Shinsuke Nakamura, who goes from Raw to SmackDown. What do you think about this round here?
These picks are terrible, except for Drew. I mean, you look at like round 4 when we get to it. Some of those names should be here in round 3. And some of these round 3 names should be in round 4. I mean,
round 2, I'm sorry. I don't care if it's 3 guys and a girl. Pride should not be picked that early ahead of any of the people here.
These are just terrible drafters. My good, we are so much better than these clowns who are putting these rosters together. The spots you're taking some of this talent is just terrible.
Facts. I agree. They noted that Carlito is still technically in the LWO, but once again, Raw got 6 people with that one, and overall in this round, Raw picked up 7 people. They're killing the game, I will say. Whoever
3-hour program.
Nick Aldis, man, you're just getting shitted on here. But just as the round 3 is over, Drew McIntyre enters, and he wonders if APA has been drinking since Friday because it was stupid. He was only picked in the 3rd round. McIntyre said that Punk was no longer anti-establishment. He was a corporate ass kisser. McIntyre congratulated Punk on finally accomplishing something. Punk actually fractured his elbow at WrestleMania. However, unlike Punk, McIntyre showed up every week because he was a real man. But then the music of CM Punk hits. McIntyre starts going crazy. He thinks that Punk is just playing mind games. But CM Punk is here in the building. He is here in Kansas City. Punk is in the Skybox suite. Punk says that he says that I'm not sitting at home. I'm right here, you little bitch.
Showing off the guns too.
Showing off the guns, looking absolutely jacked, coming off of tricep surgery. McIntyre marches to the back, and he goes off looking for CM Punk. And Ron Simmons ends the segment by saying, "Damn."
Good trolling. Good trolling.
By
the way, the Raw roster has got some trolls on it now. Shit.
Got some trolls and already got some good workers. Raw finessed, man. Raw finessed SmackDown in this whole draft.
Indeed.
They finessed, though. They finessed OD. But next up, we go backstage, and Chad Gable is approached by Alpha. He approached by Alpha Academy in the back. He wasn't impressed that Maxine Dupree only eliminated 2 people in the Battle Royal. He asks, "Where's your championship belt then?" And she says that she didn't win, so he doesn't care. He wondered if she wanted a ribbon for participation. He then told Otis and Tozawa that they better win a freaking championship tonight.
Well,
spoiler alert, they did not.
Yeah, as you can imagine.
Fair. Any comments?
Gable was good.
Yeah. Gable's good in this role. I like it so far.
Yes.
Next up, we go backstage.
There was a match on Saturday, but there's not.
Backstage, we see Braun Breaker.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The big pick to Monday Night Raw on Friday. Breaker said that Adam Pearce knew he was the best pick because he was on Raw to take over. But then he's approached by Sheamus. Sheamus approaches him, and a Breaker got in his face for interrupting his time. Sheamus told him to calm down, fella. Sheamus was impressed and said that Breaker reminded him of a younger version of himself. Sheamus says that he's a young guy who's out here having banger after banger after banger after banger. And as he's saying all the bangers, we see an angry Drew McIntyre storm on by. Sheamus takes his attention off of Braun to see Drew walk by, as Breaker seemed to not even care about Sheamus's compliments, saying, "Banger, all right, cool," and walks away. Sheamus needs to kill it with the banger shit. It's stale. It's over.
Oh, come on.
Sorry,
it
is.
The crowd loves it.
No, they don't. They didn't even chant it with him last week. What are you talking about? You saw the same segment as I did.
Well, because then he got the burger after burger treatment. That was funny. But yeah, Braun, he's coming across like a self-entitled prick. He's on the Raw roster. He already knows it all. Like, he's already better than everyone else. And he's gonna fight Sheamus. Woo! That is gonna be a banger.
That is gonna be.
Sheamus already got that, and Drew lined up.
Yeah,
it's cooking.
I think him and Drew face in the King of the Ring tournament.
Ooh.
Big Man Dog says, "Who would draft Nakamura on purpose? This isn't 2016. Why is Nakamura being drafted this early?
He should be what do they call it? Condition. What do they call the picks after?
Supplemental.
That's what he should
He
be.
he is at that point, honestly.
We didn't even draft him. And we had as many rounds as we wanted. We stopped just because we wanted to.
Big Man Doug says Drew really is turning into 2011 CM Punk, even calling them out for drinking. Absolutely.
Shinsuke should be in NXT for a run. Fucking around with Trick Williams.
I agree. Shinsuke would help Trick tremendously.
That would be fun experience with Trick. Work his style with him.
All right, we got the blow off to one of the bitter rivalries here on Monday Night Raw. Are you ready, Romeo?
Blow off.
Candice LeRae going one-on-one with Maxine Dupree. Weeks upon weeks of drama and anticipation. 1 minute and 44 seconds. LeRae gets the win with the wicked stepsister, a curb stomp for the victory. And yes, this is the blow off of this rivalry because Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are no longer on Monday Night Raw. Neither is Ivy now, but that's besides the point.
She isn't?
I think so. I think she got drafted to SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. Maybe she got drafted.
Nah, she's on Raw.
Okay.
The Creed Bros.
Cool.
Yeah, they got to keep them on Raw for Chad Gable.
Yeah, of course. But wow. Candice and Indy are not, so this is the blow off. What did you think about the rivalry overall in this matchup?
I'm sad we lose Candice. I was liking Candice's character, so it's not one of the characters I wanted to see go. I'd rather get rid of Maxine, but hey, still got to continue the Gable story.
I feel bad for Candice and Indy because, man, women's tag teams don't turn out that well on SmackDown unless you're the champions. And I don't see them being champions anytime soon.
Nope, because you already see who's going to be champions.
Yep. The first overall picks.
It's over for the rest of them.
Next we were backstage and Kathy Kelly was interviewing Rey Mysterio along with the LWO. He said he had mixed emotions, but he was excited to be on Raw, and he still has unfinished business with Carlito, knowing why he did what he did. But then Dominic Mysterio shows up to mock his father as they're on the same brand again. He says that the Judgment Day ran Raw, and Rey thought that was funny, given that Dom hasn't even been drafted yet. Rey asked him, "What's that on your lip?" Too, is that Dirty Sanchez? He said, "What's that on your lip, Dirty Sanchez?" And Dom sheepishly backed away while saying, "You're lucky I'm not cleared." And they said, "Oh," and they make fun of Dom as he walks away.
We had dueling shoulder slings here.
Word. Any thoughts on that one? More Dom and Rey coming up?
Well, yeah, we would find out eventually. Ray's gonna be, snooping in his business with Liv Morgan here.
Oh boy, like what is going on there, son?
We're gonna have family counseling.
Drew McIntyre is seen storming through the suite level, demanding to know where CM Punk is. He opens a few doors but couldn't find them. He finally found one that was Punk's suite, but Punk was now gone. All that was left was a signed photo of CM Punk. Punk's music then hits, and at this moment, he entered the ring as McIntyre looked on. Punk said that he didn't want to waste the fans' time, so he planned on doing his promo in less time than Drew McIntyre held the World Heavyweight Championship. So he says that he has 5 minutes, 46 seconds, and he says, "Pat, time me." Punk said that McIntyre was like an ex-girlfriend at this point that he couldn't get rid of. He was glad that he hurt McIntyre's elbow. McIntyre prayed for Punk to get injured, but Punk just hurt McIntyre himself. Punk was drafted ahead of McIntyre for one simple reason. This was a business, and he was the best in the world. Punk wasn't mad or out for revenge. In fact, it was because McIntyre had given him purpose. Losers hoped and prayed for things to happen, while winners made things happen. When Punk was cleared, he promised to make McIntyre's life a living hell. This was tremendous and easily the best thing on this show. Punk and McIntyre are just in a groove right now, and everything they do are just really good. They have very strong chemistry here, and this was a really good, fired up babyface promo by Punk.
100% agree with everything you just said. And yeah, this match is going to have so much buildup by the time it happens. Like, this is really good shit.
Very enjoyable. It's helping out both guys. Punk is getting massively even more over as a babyface through Drew's work, so it works twofold here. We got in the chat with us here. What do we see? Yeah, we got the Dirty Sanchez here. We got Louis who says Nakamura is Tobias Harris now.
That guy hasn't done jack shit.
Jesus.
It's a two-man show in Philly.
Josh says, I love the CM Punk promo, especially the make this shorter than your title run. Yeah, that was a nice line.
Good trolling.
Teddy Long and Alundra Blaze are next out. They entered to announce the next round of picks. Punk embraced them on the way out. Blaze initially backed off when Punk asked for a hug, but eventually accepted his embrace. But they announced the 4th round picks of the WWE Draft, and they are as follows. The Judgment Days, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonagh
Finally,
are selected to Raw.
Kidding me?
SmackDown selects Naomi. Raw selects the big one here, the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov.
Fuck yes.
SmackDown selects former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
SmackDown got wrecked this round. Oh my goodness.
They move on over to the Performance Center where we see the reaction of Ilya Dragunov. And this, honestly, outside of the Punk and McIntyre, was my favorite moment of the night because he was just so hyped up.
That's me tonight for Game 5. That's me. I'm doing the same pose in the middle.
Genuine emotion, pumped up. Dragunov was shown reacting live while the roster gave him a standing ovation. You get Shawn Michaels embracing him and gave him a Raw hat, but he didn't put it on. He just puts it in front of the camera, makes a fist. It was
because of his hair, man. You don't want to mess with his hair. Slick back hair. Look. This guy's dressed sharp. Look at him. Look how happy everyone is for him.
So happy for Dragunov.
Look at Lexus King. Is he standing on a chair? Lexus King was like, he was hyped for everybody.
Yeah, he was leading in the chance for one of the other picks later on in the night. But
get yourself a hype friend, hype guy like Lexus King.
And he only been there a few months. Like, damn.
Loves these guys.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of Dragunov being picked here? And man, this was easy right here. This was the knockout blow for Raw winning the draft.
This is a point where I was like, oh, thank goodness for us covering Raw, man. Oh, thank goodness. They blessed us here so much. First of all, keeping the Judgment Day. We need that Judgment Day drama. Can't have that go to SmackDown. I got scared when Ray brought it up backstage. I was like, you don't even know if you're going to be here. Dominic was so cocky he was going to be on Raw. It's like, oh, don't tell me they're going to move him to SmackDown. I'm going to have that and the bloodline there. Are you kidding me? Okay. It's a good swerve. The Mad Dragon, man. If you haven't seen this guy in NXT, this guy is insane. He's one of the few guys on the whole roster, there's probably a handful of them, that can give you 5 stars at any given moment if you give him the chance. And he's on the same roster.
He's top 3 in-ring worker in the entire company.
And we got him on the same brand as Gunther.
You have all, in my opinion, you have all 3 of the top 3 workers in the company when Seth Rollins returns.
Yeah. Well, you could say Sammy too.
I'll give Seth the edge over Sammy. Yeah. You could put him at 4, but yeah, I'll put Seth ahead of Sammy.
Yeah. But still, oof. Let's go.
That's why I put the tweet when you tagged me after the supplemental draft. I was like, WWE Raw with the best wrestle.
You know, most people aren't going to include this guy with all the guys that can wrestle, but Braun Breaker can wrestle too. He's only going to get better. So that it's good to have him on Raw too.
He's gonna be helped by working with the
Yes. Oh my. Yes, he is even more.
Yeah, but he doesn't belong in that conversation right now.
But he will be.
He's gonna be helped by those guys. We don't know if he could be, but
I know he could be.
We'll
I
see.
know he could be.
We'll see. We'll see.
I believe.
I know you.
The SmackDown got their Carmelo Hayes. Good for them. You got to give him something.
But that's the thing. I'll talk about it now. I think that SmackDown traditionally pick people that can fill one or two spots. As far as the male division, you can either do a 10-minute promo, either promo on your own or promo exchange, or you can do an 8 to 15-minute match at the beginning of the show, top of the hour, or end of the card. Look at every single male performer, and they kind of fit that build, whether it's the Bloodline, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, like Carmelo Hayes, like all those guys fit that mold. They didn't go out and get the in-ring workers. They put all the guys that can work long matches, long great matches. They put them on Raw because that has 3 hours.
Yeah. And did you say Randy and KO too?
Yeah, Randy KO. Yeah. They fit that bill too. Yeah. Logan Paul fits that bill too. Bayley, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, like they all fit that build of, you know, they could do the promo segment at the top of the show, middle of the hour, or even end of the show, or they could do the 8 to 15-minute match at those points.
Yeah, Raw is going to be working. Just very exciting for a 3-hour show and to cover it, to review it weekly.
Yeah. KO, Gargano, Bayley, Gargano. I love Gargano. I think Gargano's a great in-ring worker, but they're not giving him any shine, and he's in the tag team right now. He can be a great in-ring worker and be in that upper echelon, but he's just not that right now because he's not producing that.
Maybe they could actually get some tag titles now, because they could not do that on Raw. They could never get to the top of the mountaintop. Maybe with Theory and Waller over there, maybe you got a chance now.
Yeah, KO's is top 5. I would say if you put Sammy at 4, then I would put KO at 5.
Yeah, it starts getting to that point where it's like it's debatable.
Yeah,
with someone like Cody if you want.
And I wouldn't say he's better than any of those guys. I think KO definitely is better in-ring worker than Cody. Cody's a better character, and I think that they can be even on the mic. We got Big Man Does. He says, yeah, SmackDown is the sports entertainment show. Raw is the wrestling show. It's like the Earth 2 of the 2002 draft. 2002 draft made SmackDown the wrestling show and Raw the sports entertainment show. And now
sports entertainment.
Here we are 22 years later, and it's the reverse.
Indeed.
But next up, we get our women's matchup here of Liv Morgan going one-on-one with Nia Jax. We get a little guest appearance as well as none other than SmackDown's own Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, baby.
Is here. It's Tiffy time in the front row.
Thank goodness.
They went to a commercial break. They plugged the Fall Guy movie. We get Morgan bashing Jax in the head repeatedly against the ring post. Jax came back with a big Samoan drop in the ring for a 2 count. She climbed to the middle rope, set up for the Annihilator, but Morgan used her arm string to yank her off the top rope to a power bomb. Yanked her arm into the top turnbuckle and then hit a power bomb. Then we get Naomi out of nowhere. She shows up from behind Tiffany Stratton. She jumps her in the crowd and then brings her over the barricade. She gets up on the apron and kicks Stratton in the mouth while Jax runs into Naomi on the apron. This gives Liv enough momentum to hit a tornado, lung blower, and then follow up with the Oblivion for the 1-2-3, getting an upset victory over Nia Jax and earning herself an opportunity at the WWE Women's World Championship. I thought this was a solid matchup here. Liv getting the big win, even though the way she did it wasn't exactly believable to me.
Yeah, I mean, some of it wasn't smooth at the end, but they got where they needed to go, I guess. And Liv gets a revenge on Nia because Nia's not going to be on Raw anymore. So here's your revenge. You could have it.
Nia, I appreciate her going out on her back. Going out on her back. That's what you do. Look up the lights, put over the other person when you leave the territory. She's leaving the Raw territory to go to the SmackDown territory.
Mm-hmm.
We get Kathy Kelly asks Booker T about the draft again and congratulates Ilya Dragunov on being selected. He mentioned who could be next, Trick Williams or Roxanne Perez. Kathy Kelly then approached Adam Pearce and asked about his feelings so far. Pearce was just happy SmackDown took Chelsea Green. He said addition by subtraction. He said he's so happy he could dance for happiness as he walks away, and Pat McAfee says he needs to get a tennis racket as he does a tribute to Jim Cornette. But then Adam Pearce made that tribute very, very weird when people started having legitimate gripes against Jim Cornette and why would you dress like him. He started blocking people on social media like a weirdo. But hey, he's weird. He's weird. I mean, if Jim Cornette's your hero, you got to be weird.
Indeed.
Next up, we get the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon.
These guys got 2 paydays?
2 paydays. Bully Ray's
well, Devon already works there, right?
Bully Ray, yeah, he already works there. But Bully Ray's like, I'm going to so shit on AEW this week for a bigger paycheck. He says they are here for the 5th round picks. And they proceed to give us every fucking catchphrase they've ever done. What's up? Devon, get the tables. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Just say the picks. Shit, y'all don't care. What the fuck?
Come on, SP3. It's what the crowd
wants. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Yeah, like, if I got mad because the Undertaker stayed around too long, 2 appearances from the Dudley Boys was enough for me. I'm sorry. God bless you, Devon, but your partner. I'm good. Round 5 here of the WWE Draft. The picks were as followed. First pick from Raw was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day. Pick 2 for SmackDown was Pretty Deadly. Pick
pretty deadly.
Pick 3 was former NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria, while SmackDown selected Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. God damn, SmackDown, try. Just try. Jesus Christ, this is a one-sided slaughter 5 rounds in. Lyra Valkyria with a very emotional reaction. This was probably the most touching moment of the night. The genuine emotion from Lyra Valkyria, almost in tears, reacting to her being selected by Monday Night Raw. The big hug covering her face because she was just so overcome with genuine emotion here. So great moment here. But
indeed, the Lyra pick was cool. Like I said, this is the best part of the draft. Like you could tell, like Lyra just seemed like a sweet person behind the scenes, and everybody just loves her and roots for her. So, yeah, that was cool. And she's gonna be a nice little wrestler here on the Raw roster. And you know, she's got that built-in history with Becky Lynch, so you could tap into that right away to introduce people to her.
Be a tag team. You can have her challenge Becky for her first match in a similar fashion that you did with like Carmelo Hayes.
Probably have her help her because Becky's gonna be probably fucking around with damage control in no time. She's gonna need some help.
That's true. That is true. But no, I'd say to like introduce her to have a matchup, to have her Becky do an open challenge and defend it against Lyra Valkyria, which would piss off Liv even more. So help along the Liv heel character. We got Bell who says Trick Williams or Roxanne Perez. Was he aware of the rules because they're champions? No, the NXT champions were not locked.
Right.
Josh says they.
No, we didn't really think they were going anywhere. Roxanne maybe to do double duty, but Trick no way.
Josh says they did not get much of a reaction to their stuff. Again, only exciting stuff to this draft was the NXT call-ups and the talents' reactions. That's
yep, 100%.
Next up, we had World Tag Team Championships up for grabs. Awesome Truth defends against Alpha Academy. Match went about 5 minutes. We only saw 2 of it. Awesome Truth did the Truth Crushing finale. 1, 2, 3 to retain the World Tag Team titles.
Who cares? Like you said, 5-minute match going so 2 minutes.
I'm sorry. I know you bigged them up. You picked them in our mock draft, but man, these titles don't look like they are like they should be long for. It feels like they have already reached the expiration date on Awesome Truth having these titles because it feels like it's going down.
Hey, I mean, you're not wrong. I picked them for the R-Truth, comedy bit every week. That's what I didn't pick them for the wrestling.
Definitely did do that. We get Dom backstage was annoyed that Judgment Day was picked. It fell to round 4. Priest says they shouldn't be surprised. He told them to stick to the plan and get it done tonight in their matchup. And Jay McDonough has a huge makeup bruise on his forehead from the Paul loaded punch. I didn't even pop for this. I didn't even take time to get a screenshot of this because it was just like
it looked terrible.
It looked terrible, but it was just like it's so obvious this is not real.
I laughed at Priest's reaction to JD's face.
What?
It's like, see? Look at this idiot. That's basically the vibes I was getting. Priest is just like, Priest is in I told you so mode. He's in I don't need your help. Priest is this guy's champion. He's losing it. He's losing it with these guys. These guys have drafted in the 4th round. Unbelievable. They're not even a part of the Damian Priest pick. That's weird. That was weird.
I agree with that, Josh. Awesome Truth should have lost the night after WrestleMania. We said that before they won the title. We said that, but we said Imperium should beat them on the Raw after WrestleMania. Imperium broke up.
Imperium didn't get one fucking tag title run the entire time they were together. One. Are you shitting me?
Did they even get like a shot? No, they got a shot at like Sammy and KO last year. It wasn't even Giovanni and Ludwig. Remember, that was a week like one of them was out. It was actually Gunther and Ludwig, I think.
And you had Gunther as champ. You didn't have that visual of all of them as champions, not once. What?
Nope.
Terrible.
Final round of the WWE Draft. We get finally something we've been asking for this like whole entire draft. The general managers actually coming out and reading their picks. 6-round picks are as follows. First overall pick in the 6th round was the Final Testament. Karrion Kross, Scarlett, AOP, and Paul Ellering. I was like, yo, Raw, why are you trying to ruin your draft now?
Are you getting Raw strategy, though? Raw strategy is like,
yeah, we're getting every group.
6 people for one.
We're getting every fucking group out here. SmackDown selected Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, DIY.
Finally, a good SmackDown pick. I was like, where was this the other rounds?
I was like, why you didn't pick them like 2 rounds earlier? Could have saved some good picks for this one. Round and 3rd overall pick for Monday Night Raw was Big Bronson Reed, which made sense. And SmackDown final pick, Miss Irrelevant, was Blair Davenport. She had another emotional reaction to this. Very surprised. Very happy for Blair Davenport, the former B. Priestley. Seen her on the independent scene. Seen her turn in Stardom, New Japan, a part of United Empire, and then all the way to WWE NXT, WWE UK, NXT UK, and now SmackDown. What did you think about the 6-round picks here?
I'm happy for Blair Davenport. She's another good hand, another good worker. It'll be solid for SmackDown, you hope. DIY, like I said, we already talked about that. They should have more luck chasing tag titles over there than they did on Raw. Final Testaments, you just need bodies, I guess. I don't know. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody there.
I'm not sure. Bronson Reed.
Oh, who cares?
So fucked up.
A solid hand.
Solid hand. He might be Intercontinental champion. Who knows?
Oh, what? Better not. Not yet.
And then finally, we had our main event of the evening. We had our 6-man tag team matchup trios action. Jey Uso teaming up with Andrade and Ricochet to face the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest. And I was like, oh, they did not get their times right, because this might be the shortest amount of time that I've seen for a Raw main event in quite some time, as the bell rang with like 12 minutes left in the show, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get a shorter main event. So they speed run this one. We only got a commercial break after like 90 seconds, and then we got a good portion. We got to see like the final 6 minutes of this matchup. You get all the baby faces coming in for big moves. Everybody's hitting big moves back and forth. We get kind of a weird tag out as Damian Priest falls into Finn Balor. Finn Balor gets in the ring. He gets a spear and the Uso splash for the victory here, as Jey Uso, Andrade, and Ricochet pick up the win. And then we close the show with the commentary team running down the card for WWE Backlash, including Jey Uso challenging Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship, as both men face off to close the show. The crowd was relatively very quiet for this one in comparison to early on in the show.
Forgettable main event with JD McDonough fucking up in the end. Once again, this guy cannot stop fucking up. It's terrible.
Yeah, I didn't even know why he was about to push Jay off the ropes when Priest obviously had it after that.
What the fuck is he doing? You idiot. And Priest, oh my god, I thought he was gonna kill him. Can we just talk about these supplemental picks?
Yeah, go ahead.
SmackDown got Apollo Crews, Giovanni Vinci, and Tegan Knox. Another just
damn, you suck, man. Jesus,
Raw.
how your supplemental picks suck too?
Look at Raw. Raw cleaned house. Not so much early here. Natalya, the Boat, Kaden Katana, Odyssey Jones. Is this a rib? It's a fucking joke by now. Here's where it gets bad.
I had to retain Odyssey Jones. You know?
Yes. Jack. You adding him to the mix with all these wrestlers? Oh, this guy's the gatekeeper.
Fucking go.
Ratio, Monday Night Ratio. The Creed brothers and Ivy. How do these guys not get drafted? And SmackDown, you don't take them? What? SmackDown? Too good? They're too good for you? And then, if that's not enough, the New Catch Republic to Raw too. SmackDown. Oh, terrible draft.
Y'all got policed.
Anything that two of the talented young teams go to Raw.
Anything that y'all took, they like replaced very quickly. Like you took DIY, they got New Catch Republic. Like what other people like made the jump? Andrade made the jump from Raw to SmackDown. Who did they got to replace him? Braun Breaker. Like what? Like sheesh, my god, this was a very one-sided draft, whereas Raw just completely finessed and I don't think SmackDown did enough to set up potential challengers for the next year for Cody Rhodes. I don't think they did.
It's because I think a lot of these feuds that he does have are going to be multi-months.
Oh god,
Randy Orton is at least 3
Oh
months.
yeah. Orton has to.
That's like a Hell in a Cell it ends with.
Yeah. You do the first match at like SummerSlam. You do the final match at like Hell in a Cell, or if they're still doing Hell in a Cell, I don't even know. But
And can we talk about some of the names that we're getting on Raw from SmackDown that we didn't mention? Like they're small names, but like Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, we're getting that. And Kiana James, who I don't think she's ready at all. So that's got to be a rough spot for her.
No, she's in a similar situation of Zoe Stark last year, where she's going to need something. She's going to need that story that Zoe got with the Trish story to really get her going on the main roster.
Yeah. And a lot of the other picks on SmackDown were just guys that Raw already had. So,
yeah. So, I would give Raw overall draft grade between both nights A-, and I would give SmackDown C-.
that sounds very fair.
Where are you at?
I'm probably the same thing. I think, man, the order of some of these picks is just like mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
AJ Styles didn't get picked till the last round on SmackDown.
Do you remember like how early me and you picked the Judgment Day in the Bloodline?
Yeah.
Like these guys are going in the middle. What? Oh my goodness.
Just for a story. Just for a one-night story.
Yeah, well. The draft sucks. Raw was better than SmackDown. But, it's just, it's two turds. One is golden, and like the other's still brown shit. Like, I hate the draft. I don't look forward to it now. There's no reason to get excited. The only reason to get excited is the NXT talent. You're happy for them. That should be like put more of a microscope on. The rest of it is just something needs a fixing, Hunter, because this is boring shit.
It's just very bland. It lacks creativity.
And this was not a strong night for in-ring shit either.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I don't think you'll see any of these matches from tonight's show on my star ratings next week. But
I've already forgotten them.
Yeah, I've forgotten most of them. But let's put our thumbs in the middle for Monday Night Raw Draft Night, Night 2, in 3, 2, 1. Wow, he goes all the way down. Thumbs down for Romeo.
First time ever in these 19 reviews.
You know what? I'll go thumbs in the middle because I go 6.5 out of 10. Going over the show and really going back on all the matches and then, the draft and its lack of creativity. Yeah, it really feels like a 6.5 out of 10 type show.
Well, our review gets like a 10. It's always fun talking the show with you, but I don't really watch the show with you. I have to watch the shit, on my own. Yeah. It's very fucking annoying, this show last night. So I give this is the worst Raw I've seen in these 19 episodes, 4.7. And if I had, and that was
are you going out for me?
0 to 6, 46.
I couldn't hear you there. You were kind of going in and out a little bit. Yeah, going in and out.
7. Oh,
I don't know if it's just me. Yeah, I hear you now. Mm-hmm. I hear you, but you're like going in and out.
All right,
but you're good now.
46% of you gave it a 0 to a 6, 31% a 7, 23% an 8. Nobody gave it a 9. So you agree with? Me and SP3, you gave it in 6 range. What do you give it?
6.5.
Yeah. So this is the, even in the chat, this is like, I don't think of previous Raw has gotten a 0 to a 6.
That is true.
So it's the worst Raw we've seen.
So they just posted up during our show the rosters now. So SmackDown is as follows: WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, WWE Women's Champion Bayley, United States Champion Logan Paul, Tag Team Champion, WWE Tag Team Champions, A-Town Down Under, Bianca Belair, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, Nia Jax, LA Knight, The Bloodline, AJ Styles, Andrade, The OC, Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander and Ashanti Adonis, Jade Cargill, Kevin Owens, The Pride, Tiffany Stratton, Legado del Fantasma, Shinsuke Nakamura, Naomi, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, Brittany Deadly, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell, DIY, Blair Davenport, Apollo Crews, Giovanni Vinci, and Tegan Knox.
It's Randy Orton.
It feels very much. It sounds very much like 2016 SmackDown roster after that draft.
I'm trying to think of Cody's feuds for the year. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. Who the fuck else?
The Bloodline.
Well,
he's gonna feud with Solo. I'm pretty sure of that. He's gonna feud with Solo again. Solo as a main eventer.
Those all sound like multi-month feuds. Maybe Logan Paul.
Nice.
Maybe you need another body. You need another body. Like who else? You're not gonna do Shinsuke again, are you?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Round
Stop.
46 of Shinsuke and Cody. And then you got the Raw roster. World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest, Women's World Champion Becky Lynch, Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, World Tag Team Champions Awesome Truth, Jey Uso, Seth freaking Rollins, Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan, Ricochet, Sheamus, Alpha Academy, Kiana James, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Ivar, Imperium, Damage Control, CM Punk, Braun Breaker. I said Braun Breaker. Braun Strowman, the LWO, Drew McIntyre, The Judgment Day, Ilya Dragunov, The New Day, Lyra Valkyria, The Final Testament, Big Bronson Reed, Natalia, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, Odyssey Jones, Dijak, the Creed Brothers and Ivy Now, and New Catch Republic.
Loaded
Loaded
everywhere.
Loaded. There was a stretch where I was like, man, all of these people could give you good to great matches. I was like, oh, boom, 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 boom.
Monday Night Raw, we're the best WWE wrestle.
The best of WWE wrestle, yes. All right, who was your MVP for this show?
CM Punk. But shout out to Lyra and Blair for their genuine emotional reactions. They were cool too.
I'm going to go with Logan Paul.
Oh.
Logan Paul, I felt like he was the one that got the big mainstream attention with Patrick Mahomes coming over. And I thought he was good in his role with antagonizing the crowd, antagonizing Jey Uso. And after that segment, I wanted to see Jey Uso versus Logan Paul more than Jey Uso versus Damian Priest.
Yeah, I do want to see Jey Uso and Logan Paul. And I think we are definitely in for that this year. It's not WrestleMania.
So, yes, I give it to Logan Paul. And LVP, I give it to Braun Strowman for that haircut.
Oh.
Sorry.
Worst Raw we've seen, so I got a lot of LVPs. Starting number 1, Triple H. This is your idea, this draft. This draft sucks. Fix it. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. You acting like a heel in front of your home city. You brought your Super Bowl rings. What do you? And your Super Bowl rings are being used as a weapon. You don't do that to your Super Bowl rings. What are you doing? No. JD McDonough. Do I need to even say why? You saw this guy's a loser.
He's always an LVP.
Yeah, this might be the JD McDonough LVP by the time we're fucking through this shit.
Damn, JD. Sad day for him. But yes, that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. Want to thank Romeo and all of y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all for chiming in, giving us your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Romeo, let everybody know where they can follow you.
For Romeo Anthony on all social media. Shout out to Chuck Berries for the super chat. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Catch me. I should be on the Backlash preview tomorrow. Definitely Backlash watch along Saturday afternoon.
That should be fun. I should be on that as well. And look at us once again plugging Backlash more than WWE did. But before then, yes, I will be on our Backlash preview. Remember, guys, that's once again 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live here. Myself, Romeo, and special guest Rick Uccino. We also got AE Ramble this week is coming up on Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, reviewing AEW Dynamite. I'll try to drop Collision Discourse either today, if not, probably sometime. It'll be tonight. It'll probably be tonight. Late night, like 11:05 p.m. Eastern Time or so, you drop another edition of Collision Discourse because it was a great episode of Collision and Rampage on Saturday. So I'll discuss that. I'll do a solo review. So that'll be on the channel later today. But also check out our Dark Side of the Ring Season 5 review. Check out our X-Men 97 review over on True Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment. You can follow me at True Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Instagram, TikTok at True Heel Heat. And check out all the great stuff like our Sensational Sherry review. Check out True Heel Heat, our flagship podcast 274. Check out our X-Men 97 review, like I said before, for on True Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment. Check out our Triple Mania watch along
I just
from this
deleted
past
that.
weekend. I know, that was great. Quick glimpse. But for Romeo, it is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 19 for the April 29th, 2024 edition of WWE Raw Draft Day. We are signing off until next time.
Bye, Allie. Nick's in 5. Nick's